Today, we mourn the loss of a musical genius. Brian Wilson, the brilliant mind behind the Beach Boys, has passed away. An icon of American music, his influence spans generations, genres, and oceans. In this video, we will take you on a journey through his life, from his childhood and musical beginnings, to the height of his career, his personal struggles, awards, lifestyle, and legacy. Please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment sharing your favorite Brian Wilson song, and subscribe for more biographical tributes to legendary figures. Don't forget to share this video to celebrate the life of a true musical innovator. Musical note: early life and family background. Brian Douglas Wilson was born on June 20th, 1942, in Inglewood, California. He was the eldest son of Murray Gage Wilson and Audrey Neva Korthoff. His father, Murray, was a strict but musically inclined man who worked as a songwriter and machinist, while his mother was supportive but often caught in the middle of Murray's harsh parenting methods. Brian grew up with two younger brothers, Dennis and Carl Wilson, both of whom would go on to become members of the iconic Beach Boys. Music was embedded into the Wilson household, and Brian displayed extraordinary musical abilities from a young age. By his early teens, he could harmonize, play piano, and compose intricate melodies. Education and high school career. Brian attended Hawthorne High School, where his natural musical abilities began to shine. He was known for singing in the school choir and forming singing groups with friends. Despite struggling in traditional academics, his genius in music and sound arrangement became evident. He recorded early demos with friends, including cousin Mike Love. In 1960, after graduating high school, he enrolled at El Camino College to study psychology and music. It was there that he began taking music theory seriously, developing the foundational skills that would later revolutionize pop music. College career and the formation of the Beach Boys. Wilson's time at El Camino College was short-lived, as his focus shifted toward forming a band with his brothers Dennis and Carl, cousin Mike Love, and friend Al Jardine. Together, they became the Beach Boys in 1961. Their breakthrough came in 1962 with Surfin' Safari, written and produced by Brian, which hit the Billboard charts and launched their career. Brian dropped out of college soon after to focus on music full-time. Formation of the Beach Boys. In 1961, Brian, along with his brothers Dennis and Carl, cousin Mike Love, and friend Al Jardine, formed the Beach Boys. The band's debut single, Surfin', was a regional hit and led to a contract with Capitol Records. Brian took the role of the group's chief songwriter, producer, and creative force. The Beach Boys quickly became America's answer to the British invasion, known for their sunny harmonies and lyrical depictions of Southern California life, surfing, cars, and teenage romance. From 1962 to 1966, the Beach Boys released a series of successful albums and singles, including Surfin' USA, I Get Around, Help Me, Rhonda, and California Girls. Wilson's studio wizardry and melodic genius propelled the band to the top of the charts. Pet sounds and the apex of creativity. By 1965, Brian had stopped touring with the group to focus exclusively on studio work. His growing interest in complex arrangements and emotional themes culminated in the 1966 album Pet Sounds, which is widely considered one of the greatest albums in music history. Featuring classics like God Only Knows, Wouldn't It Be Nice, and Caroline, No, Pet Sounds showcased Brian's groundbreaking use of orchestration, harmonies, and studio technology. Though not an immediate commercial hit in the US, Pet Sounds earned immense critical acclaim and influenced contemporaries, including the Beatles, who cited it as an inspiration for Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Following Pet Sounds, Brian began work on an ambitious project titled Smile, which he described as a teenage symphony to God. However, plagued by mounting pressure, creative conflicts, and his deteriorating mental health, the project was shelved in 1967. Some of its songs, like Heroes and Villains and Good Vibrations, were released as singles, with Good Vibrations becoming a chart-topping masterpiece. Struggles with mental health and drug abuse. During the late 1960s and 1970s, Brian Wilson's mental health declined significantly. He was diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder and bipolar disorder, conditions exacerbated by his experimentation with LSD and other drugs. He became increasingly reclusive, often retreating to his bedroom for days or weeks at a time. His weight ballooned, and he lost interest in music and public appearances. During this time, the Beach Boys continued performing and recording, but without Brian's consistent involvement, their influence waned. Brian's relationship with his bandmates, especially Mike Love, became strained due to creative differences and personal issues. In the mid-1970s, Brian was placed under the care of controversial psychologist Dr. Eugene Landy, who used unconventional and controlling therapeutic methods. While Landy initially helped Brian stabilize, he also took over many aspects of Wilson's life, from his finances to his personal relationships. The Wilson family eventually won legal action to sever ties between Brian and Landy in the early 1990s. Personal life and relationships. Brian married Marilyn Rovell, a member of the singing group The Honeys, in 1964. The couple had 2 daughters, Carney and Wendy, who later found fame with the pop trio Wilson Phillips. The marriage suffered under the weight of Brian's mental health challenges and ended in divorce in 1979. In 1995, Wilson met Melinda Ledbetter, a former model and car saleswoman who became his manager and second wife. Melinda played a vital role in helping Brian regain his independence and rebuild his career. They adopted 5 children together, and Melinda remained a constant source of strength and support throughout the remainder of Brian's life. Resurgence and solo career. Freed from Landy's control, Wilson made a remarkable comeback in the 1990s. He released his self-titled solo debut in 1988 and followed it with a series of increasingly ambitious projects. In 2004, he revisited the long-abandoned Smile project, finally completing and releasing it as a solo album. Brian Wilson Presents Smile received universal acclaim and won a Grammy Award. Wilson continued recording and touring into the 2010s, often with a backing band that included members of the Wondermints. He released albums such as That Lucky Old Son, 2008, No Peer Pressure, 2015, and At My Piano, 2021. He also reunited briefly with the Beach Boys for their 50th anniversary tour and the release of That's Why God Made the Radio in 2012. Health decline and final years. In the final decade of his life, Brian's health began to decline more rapidly. He struggled with cognitive issues, and his live performances became more sporadic. In 2024, his family announced that he had been diagnosed with a form of dementia, which had severely impacted his memory and day-to-day functioning. Melinda Wilson passed away in early 2024, leaving Brian devastated. Following her death, legal guardianship was established for his care. Despite this, fans continued to honor his legacy through tributes, documentaries, and reissues of his music. Death. Brian Wilson passed away on June 11, 2025, at the age of 82, in Los Angeles, California, due to complications related to his dementia and other natural causes. His death marked the end of an era, prompting tributes from musicians, critics, and fans around the world. Former bandmates, including Mike Love and Al Jardine, issued heartfelt statements commemorating Wilson's genius, influence, and troubled but brilliant soul, musical legacy, and influence. Brian Wilson is widely regarded as one of the greatest musical minds of the 20th century. He transformed the role of the producer into an artist, pioneering new studio techniques and compositional forms in pop music. His use of layered harmonies, key changes, and non-traditional instruments reshaped the boundaries of what pop music could achieve. His influence spans generations, from the Beatles and Elton John to more contemporary acts like Radiohead and Animal Collective. Wilson was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of the Beach Boys in 1988 and received the Kennedy Center honors in 2007. In 2015, President Barack Obama awarded him the National Medal of Arts. Cultural impact and recognition. Brian Wilson's life story inspired books, films, and stage productions. The 2014 biopic Love and Mercy, starring Paul Dano and John Cusack as younger and older versions of Wilson, brought new attention to his struggles and artistic brilliance. Critics praised the film for its sensitive and realistic portrayal of mental illness and musical genius. Wilson's legacy also lives on through countless artists who cite him as a primary influence. His songs have been covered and sampled extensively, and his approach to album making inspired generations of musicians to treat records as cohesive works of art. Conclusion: Brian Wilson was a man of contrasts, a composer of joyful, transcendent music who wrestled with profound inner demons. His life was a testament to both the heights of artistic genius and the depths of human struggle. Though he faced personal turmoil and illness, his resilience and creative spirit endured. The world may have lost Brian Wilson in 2025, but his music remains timeless, continuing to inspire wonder, hope, and harmony for generations to come. If you enjoyed this tribute, please like, comment with your favorite Beach Boys memory, share this with fellow music lovers, and subscribe for more biographies of legendary artists. Until next time, keep the music playing.